Welcome. Welcome to the Biennial Seed Grow Along.
Just to say, I've only got 15% entry.
Great. We won't start sowing just yet because Ben will tell me who's on and we can welcome some people here.
Marie loves to garden.
Welcome, Marie.
Life at plot 3.
Welcome, live at plot 3. We can do any little shout outs if anyone wants to shout out.
Trudgeon.
Good evening, Claire. So if you are just coming live right now and wondering what we are doing, it is the Biennial Seed Grow Along this evening. So today is the summer solstice, which is the start of summer and the lightest evening of the year. And it looks maybe like good weather is coming, I think. Next week, does it look sunny, Ben, doesn't it?
Apparently.
I think, which is exciting. So loads of you have bought the seed collection, like blown away by how many people have ordered. Yes, Ben?
I think Lily wants to shout out. It's her birthday today.
Oh, happy birthday to you, Lily. Just to add, if I say yes, Ben, it's because Ben is sat the other side of the camera and he literally puts his hand up like he's at school when he's got something to tell me.
Which is ironic because I didn't used to do that at school.
So we have had a record number of people sign up to this free grow along. Nearly 5,000 people have signed up, which is mental. We have completely sold out of this seed collection now. And a huge thank you to Melanie and her husband at Bishy Barnaby's Seeds, who has provided these seed packets, and not only provided, she has hand-tied, hand-created and puts my dream into a reality. So without her, this wouldn't be happening. I don't know if she's here tonight, but anyway, so if you are maybe gathering up your bits, it might be a good time for you right now to fill your seed trays. So I have filled mine already because it saves a little bit of time. So I've got my seed trays all ready. Now, it doesn't matter if you're growing in a cell tray like me, if you are growing in a bigger cell tray like this, or if you're just going to be sowing your seeds in a great punnet, something out you're recycling. Anything will do. Yes, Ben?
Little shout out to Erin, who is somebody's daughter who's doing it today. She's very excited to be doing it.
Oh, hello to Erin.
Someone's been waiting all day for
Oh, I love it. So this is the 4th official, like, big grow along. So I've been growing on Instagram for a long time, but we did autumn, we did winter, we did spring, and now we're doing biennial all together as a collection. Yes, Ben?
Somebody has said kids have just started going nuts. Just confirming this will be available later.
This will be available at any time, don't worry. And on the free course, which is on the app, there's an intro video with everything you need to know about these seeds. So fear not, you can watch it anytime. Now, yeah, fill your seed trays with your compost, so that is done. My compost is already pre-moistened, but if yours is dry, then you might need some water. Harvey very kindly has got my watering device, this elephant watering can.
Wow.
And actually, watering cans aren't great because we don't want to move the seeds and have them floating away. So actually, a mister or a sprayer is much better.
Is it blocked up?
Probably. No, it's fine.
Oh, are you doing the autumn grow along again?
I am doing the autumn grow along again. So again, we'll be going exactly the same again. Autumn, winter, spring, biennial. There's going to be 4 grow alongs a year forevermore because it's my favourite thing to do in the whole wide world. Now Ben just needs to buy me a bigger house with a bigger garden so that we can start a flower farm. No, I absolutely am just obsessed with growing from seed, and the pictures and the videos that are coming in from your gardens with the same seeds as me growing in your garden just fills me with so much excitement to think that there are thousands of you that have never sowed a seed in your life, and now you're as addicted to me, as addicted as me. It's amazing. Yes, Ben?
How many seed trays do I need to fill?
Good question. Let me just double check how many varieties we're going to be doing. And actually there is one that we're not going to be sowing tonight, and I will explain about that. 3, so we've got 8, so we're going to be sowing 7. We're going to be sowing 7 tonight, but if you've already filled up 8, that's fine. Yes, Ben?
Somebody signed up, but seeds haven't come yet.
Okay, that's fine. You can catch up at any time. Yeah, Melanie has had a flat out week, so if your order's been accepted, you will get your seeds. You might have a slight variation in colour on the Foxgloves because the Excelsior mix we were out of, so you will get beautiful white ones. But other than that, everything else is the same. Now, what I will say with your seedlings before we even start to sow, is everybody has got different visions for their garden, different amounts of space, and for me, I always like to sow too many because you can always thin them out. We'll talk about that later, and you can give them away to friends. I personally just like to have plenty as a backup in case things go wrong. So yeah, think about that, and we'll talk about that as we go through the seeds. Have we got a Harvey issue? All okay?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, right. I can't see any questions yet, so then we'll have to catch up in a minute. I don't quite know what's happened. But let's make a start. I'm also going to talk to you about plant labels. Now, I suddenly panicked and thought, I haven't even got any plant labels. So if you are like me and you're not organised, then what I suggest you do when you've sown your seeds, just put the packet on top of your seed tray for now. And then I went into my recycling and got out a milk carton, and then I cut out a big rectangle, and then I have just cut myself some plant labels that look like this. They're a little bit pointed at one end. Voila, that is my plant label. So if, like me, you haven't even thought about plant labels, which I totally hadn't, then cut up a milk carton and label them up. So that is really important. So let's make a start, I think. And the first one we're going to do is Wallflowers. Now, Wallflowers. So this packet has got 250 seeds, and it tells us on the back of the packet that the height of the plant is going to get to 45 centimetres and the spread is going to get to 30 centimetres. Now, the spread is how big the plant is going to spread out when it's full size. So that's going to get to 30 centimetres. So that kind of gives you a rough idea of where you might have space in your borders, and if you're going to do them in pots, how many you can cram in. And actually with Wallflowers in a 30 centimetre pot, I would cram in 2, maybe even 3 if I was feeling rebellious for a really full pot. But if you're cramming a pot like that, you need to really make sure you feed and water regularly. So I know that that's quite a decent sized plant, and I personally don't want any more than 12. I don't need 12. I accept that some might not make it. So yeah, this cell tray, I'm probably going to put 1 per cell.
Apparently it keeps freezing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you've just frozen.
Have loads of people said that.
Just somebody.
Hang on.
And it's back. It's okay.
Are we back?
Yeah.
If it's frozen and you can hear me now, don't panic, because I've got another camera rolling, and that is going to be a non-frozen one, so that will be updated.
Internet seems to be fine.
Onto the app tonight, so don't worry.
Some people are saying it's fine, some
Okay.
people are saying it's frozen.
This live one is just for the gram. The other version will be on the course later, so don't worry.
Okay, here, no freezing. So
Okay, great.
Could be other people's
So
internet.
open up your Wallflowers and you will see that they are really decent size seed. They're not teeny tiny, they are fine. Like I said, I don't want any more than 12, so I am going to sow 2 of these per cell. That's a lot of Wallflowers, but like I said, you can give these away if they are successful. So when the soil is warm, which it is now is the time that we're sowing the biennials because the soil is warm. You can also do these directly in your borders. Personally, I never have any luck with that because of slugs. This is the one that it says provide a moist and shaded environment. So these, once we've sown them, put them in the shade. So don't put them in a sunny spot. Find somewhere dark. Find somewhere sheltered. It could be anywhere, down the side of your house, wherever. and they will do their thing. Right, that is it. So I'm going to open up my packet. You will have so many seeds in all these packets. You will have plenty to give away to friends, and then what I always say to people is don't panic if accidents happen. Things get spilt, knocked over, forgotten about, things die, because you've always got so many seeds that you can go again. Yes.
Have you said what seeds they are?
Oh, did I not?
I don't know. I'm asking.
I think I did.
I'm asking for a friend who said, what are you planting?
They're Wallflower's Ruby Gem. Maybe I forgot that. I always forget something. So I'm just going to write that on my plant label. So Wallflower. I'm not going to write Ruby Gem. Some people like to write the date on here that they sowed them. Just in case you're wondering when. What's the matter, Ben?
The person who asked what you're planting just said, sorry, I've just joined.
Oh, okay.
It's been a couple of seconds too late.
Right, so, and then the other key thing that you need to look out for is, does it tell us if they need covering?
Will the excess seeds last until next year?
Yes. Seed packets usually say, but yeah, they'll be fine for next year. This one doesn't actually say about covering.
No,
interesting. As you will see, that these grow-alongs, I'm doing it as if I'm new to it like you. So it doesn't actually say, Ben, on the packet about covering. Interesting.
Yeah, how long will they last for? That's... Yeah.
Usually, if it says nothing about covering, I don't cover. So I'm just double checking that. Yeah, it doesn't say anything about covering them. So I'm not going to cover them. So I'm going to sprinkle them into my hand. And then, like I said, I'm just going to place about two on the surface of the compost.
Sorry if this has been answered, but do we keep a lid on it? If not, how do we stop the compost from drying out?
Right, I'm going to talk about that. That is my next question once these are done. Right, so that is my 12 done. So like I said, it doesn't say anything about covering, so I'm not going to cover them. I'm going to slightly press the seed onto the compost surface just to make sure it's got contact with the soil and it's not going to blow away. So really gently, I'm not pushing it in, I'm just pressing it on. So that is done. And like I said, I have already moistened this compost, but if yours is really dry, give it a little water. Ideally not with a big watering can because you might wash the seed off. I'm then going to put my label in, and we'll talk about the water now, as that question has come up. Now, the reason I love to sow in these seed trays is because you can remove this and you've got a drip tray here. Now, the most challenging thing when you are sowing your biennials is keeping your compost moist because it's warm and they dry out quickly. So what I find works really well is just making sure that I've always got a small amount of water in here, and it just helps to keep the compost moist. You might find the very top layer dries out, but most of it will be fine. Now, if you don't have these seed trays because you're growing in grape punnets or whatever, as long as you're not vegetarian, you might have one of these, which is a chicken breast packet. These work amazingly well as drip trays. Alternatives are baking trays, anything you've got around at home that can hold a little bit of water. Then you just place your tray. That one doesn't fit, but you get the idea. So just adding a tiny bit of water and just keeping an eye on it every day will make sure that there is enough moisture in your seed trays. Yes, Ben?
What seed compost should we use?
So personally, I like to use Silver Grow, which is by a brand called Melcourt, and I buy that from my local garden centre. But lots of peat-free composts are quite good. It's often tricky to find a really good one, which is why I love the one that I've got. But details on the compost that I use are in the course. So that is now sown. Now let's talk about our favourite friends, which are the slugs. Now again, Oh, my microphone keeps going upside down. If you've got the same seed trays as me, what you can do once your seeds have germinated is at night put the lid on, because the slugs then can't eat your seeds. As you guys know, I have a real slug problem here, and literally your seedlings could be gone in the night. But if you can find a way of covering them just at night, go out about 9 o'clock at night, which is when the slugs normally come, and just put a cover over, and then you'll know that they'll be fine. Yes, Ben?
Do they water them now?
Yes. And I'll start them off with them.
Or a water sprayer, one of the...
Yeah, a water sprayer is great. I mean, I can show you with this, but you just have to do it really gently, because like I can see it's moving
The water sprayer is really good.
Yeah, I just couldn't find it.
Oh.
So yeah, that's now watered, and I'm actually using a little shoe rack, and I'm going to put that in the garden in a spot that gets morning sun. And that's where my not this one though, because it needs the shade, but that's where my seedlings are going to go. They're not going to go in anywhere in the garden that's got full sun. So your seedlings will need warmth and they will need sun, but yeah, I'm not putting mine in a boiling hot place. So that is seed tray 1 done. I need to try and clip this.
You need to clip it onto the other one.
My other thing. Is that better? Yeah, that's better. Right, wallflowers are done. Next up, we are going to go with Clary Sage. Clary Sage Oxford Blue. I haven't grown this for a couple of years, and it is beautiful. So, and don't worry about this one where it says can be sown in April or September. Loads of people sow this as a biennial now. So cover it lightly. So this is one that needs a little bit of a light cover. So how many seeds have we got? 150 seeds. Let's open this one up.
Your microphone is working fine.
Oh, I just always worry about it being upside down. Right, so a decent seed to handle, Clary Sage. Any other questions? Don't feel that any question is silly, because there is never a silly question. Some people have never ever touched a seed in their life. Yes, Ben?
Not a question.
Yeah.
But Emma Critchley.
Yeah.
I love your top.
Oh, thank you.
So.
It's from Zara.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they've still got it. But yeah, it's the Zara one. Yes, Ben?
Have you noticed a difference in your seed results with using peat-free compost?
Really good question. Silver Grow, amazing. Other peat-free composts, disaster. I had one session of growing last year where I had really poor germination, and I always say to people when they message me and they say, oh, I'd love to be able to grow from seed, but I just can't, nothing ever grows, and I say it's probably not you, it's probably the compost. Some peat-free compost is horrendous. It's woody, it's like growing in wood chip, it's got plastic, glass, all sorts of rubbish, which is no good for growing seeds. So you really need to find a good one. You can buy a specific one, I can't remember the brand of it, that's for seeds. It is a bit more expensive, but once they're growing, the compost is not as important after that, as in you can kind of be a bit more flexible with a peat-free, but yes, it makes a big difference. Right, so we're going Clary Sage. Ben, would you be able to...
I think that was the same... Where do you buy that brand?
I get it in my local garden centre, but if you go on the Melcourt website, the link of that I believe is in the course. They've got a stock locator. You can put your postcode in and it will show you your closest retailer where you can buy it. And I buy 2 50-litre bags for £16. But it's becoming much more readily available. They're trying to get it out into loads of garden centres. Yes.
Amazon, you can get it apparently.
It's expensive on Amazon. You can get it on Amazon. It's double the price. So yeah. Right, so Clary Sage, let's do this.
How do you filter the seeds when there are over 100? It's difficult to thin them out. I guess that means now.
So we're not sowing the whole lot. So the last one we put about 2 in each cell. We'll talk about thinning out in a minute. So this Clary Sage, I'm going to go for...
Did you want me to do something?
Yeah, I just wanted you to grab me some compost because I need to lightly cover this, and I realise I haven't got any compost to hand.
What, that compost?
Yeah, or just pass me. I think one of those buckets might have some in.
Okay, I was actually quite comfy there.
So these seeds, I'm going to go for about 3 on each cell.
Okay.
Now, yes, great question about thinning out. So you will see that we are sowing multiple seeds in a cell.
This one?
Yeah, thank you.
Where?
Just down here anyway.
There?
Yep. Yeah, we are sowing multiple seeds in a cell. Now, to make sure that we get germination and to make sure we have enough, like I said, I always oversell. Oversow. You could just put 1 seed in a cell, but then if it doesn't germinate, in 2 weeks' time, you're then possibly going to have blank cells. So it's just better to sow multiples. Now, the process of thinning out is where you might have a cell with, say, 6 seedlings in the cell, and you can do it one of 2 ways. You can either thin them all out, so if you want loads of that plant, you carefully pluck out each seedling and put it into its own tray. So that is when these home-based trays come in quite handy. So if you've got a big garden or a big cut flower bed and you're wanting to go big on the flowers, then you can hand pick each seedling out and thin them out into their own cell, and then each one of these cells will grow a whole plant. But if you haven't got loads of space and you don't want millions of seedlings, the alternative way is to have a look at what's growing. If you've got 6 in that cell, have a look at which one looks the healthiest and then just pluck the other 5 out, leaving 1 in the cell. So that's the other way of doing it. For me, you can guess which option I always go for. That's the thinning them out into a cell tray so that I've got loads, because I like to have a backup. Yes, Ben?
Do we keep the trays inside until they've germinated?
No.
Or do they go straight outside?
Straight outside into a spot that gets sun, but ideally not full sun all day, because they don't need that. Now, we've planted a Clary Sage and that one needs lightly covering. So I'm going to stick my hand in my compost, and basically what that means is a light sprinkle. So it just means they need a little bit of darkness to germinate. So sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle all over the top.
Do Clary Sage need shade too?
No, it's only the wallflowers that need shade.
Does it say that on the packet?
Yes, it says that on the packet. Right, then I'm putting my label in. I will water this just so that you know you need to do yours, but God, Harvey's elephant does not do a good job. Is that one now done?
I've got sorry, but when signing up for the free grow,
Yeah.
is that how you get the seeds, or was that a different thing to order them?
So the free grow along.
I've got a feeling I haven't ordered them.
The free grow along is this process. It's growing along together. There also was a link for the seeds, and you purchase the seeds, but the seeds are sold out. But if you send me a direct message, I can give you the list of what's in the collection, and I can help you try and find seeds. So fear not. I think Melanie might have some separate varieties, but the pretty envelopes and the whole thing is done. Yes, Ben?
Do wallflowers need shade once they have germinated?
No, they don't. I think it's just for the germination. They need to be kept cooler. Right, next up, foxgloves. Now, foxglove seeds are tiny. That's why it says on the packet 1,000 seeds. So, foxglove. Now, with foxgloves, you could very carefully, with like a cocktail stick or something, very carefully put 1 in each cell. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go for a sprinkle party. Does it say about covering? I don't think you have to cover these. So yeah, these are going to be teeny tiny. So just go for a sprinkling. The other great thing about when you thin things out is that if you're like me and your life is busy and you don't have time to do everything, then sometimes they naturally thin themselves out. So when you've got 6 or 6,000 seeds in a cell fighting to live, it's often it's survival of the fittest, and the strongest ones just thrive through the others. You'll know what I mean when that happens. But yeah, it will be fine. But I want loads of foxgloves for next year, loads. So I'm going to do a really generous sprinkling in each cell.
Just give a little shout out to Steph.
Oh, hi Steph.
Shotter.
Steph Shotter?
She just said, hi Ben and Sophie, your garden looks amazing.
Oh, hi
she also
Steph.
said, why does Ben's voice sound so sexy? Well, that is because I've got a bit of a cold.
He's got a cold.
She didn't say that at all.
Oh.
But I think my voice is pretty goddamn good.
Yeah, Ben has got a cold. Right, so I have sprinkled loads in each cell of that.
Do you know your voice keeps going deep? I don't know if that's you or me.
Oh, I don't know. Oh, that's a bit rude.
I didn't hear that. Probably watching football like I was.
I won't repeat what the neighbour just said. Right, so I'm just lightly pressing these in, just so that that seed has got contact with the compost. Did I write my label for that? Yes, I did.
Will this life be saved?
Yes.
I can't watch it all.
Yes, 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 don't worry. The free grow-alongs are always saved. And if you've got any other questions, just remember, if you're sitting there thinking you've got a question that you're scared to ask, don't be scared to ask. No question is silly. Yes, Ben.
Someone said you sound fine, so it might just be other people's internet. Steph said, haha, you're still as funny, Ben.
Try living with him, Steph. Things have never changed.
Hilarious. All the time.
Right, next up, we are going with, oh my God, I'm so excited for this one. Canterbury Bells. Now, I haven't grown these. I don't think I've grown Canterbury Bells since we lived in our old house. And it was one of the first things that I grew with the boys. I loved them, and then just haven't grown them since. So, cover the seeds very lightly. Okay.
What's the one you've just done?
That was Foxgloves.
Okay, and can you, if you get a second, show somebody the shoe rack that you...
Yes, I shall get my shoe rack. This was my home bargain shoe rack, which was maybe £3. It's just a little wooden shoe rack that was in my greenhouse. And I just thought it would be ideal. But you don't need any racking like this. You can just put them on the ground, put them on your barbecue, put them anywhere.
What month do you sow foxglove in the States?
Good question. I don't. So I am zone 9A, if that helps you. I'm just writing my label for Canterbury Bells. Yeah, I don't know whereabouts in the States if the seasons are different, but yeah, I'm zone 9A. Yes, Ben.
Erin was wondering,
Yeah.
which seeds are you most excited by? That's Erin, the 12-year-old who is following
Great
along with her mum.
question. I am most excited about...
When will these flower?
Good question. We'll talk about that in a minute. So I think I'm most excited for, I can't choose one, the Honesty and the Canterbury Bells. Because the Honesty looks amazing in everyone's gardens this spring, and I only had one that survived my neglect from last year. Yes, Ben?
Someone said they were late getting the seeds. Will they be restocked? But I'm gathering that's a no.
I can't guarantee that, but
And
have a look on her website, because some of the varieties are available individually. It's just a couple. I've got no guarantee of when we can get more. Yes, Ben?
What is the seed list, please? I'm guessing that's going to be attached to something.
Yeah, I'll attach the list.
And
right, Canterbury Bells, by the way, guys, we're opening up. We're opening up.
as these flowers are for next year, will they need to come in for the winter?
Great question.
Or will they be okay
And that
outside?
also is someone else's question. So, biennials mean that they flower in their second year. So we are sowing them now. They will germinate. They will grow their roots. They will grow their leaves, their first leaves anyway, and we will be planting these out in the garden in the autumn. And then they will just rough it up and fend for themselves in the garden. No greenhouse needed, no winter protection needed. These flowers you will see in lots of gardens naturally self-seed and come back every year. So you might have foxgloves in your garden that you never planted because they've naturally self-seeded, or a bird has dropped the seed. And it's the same with lots of these things. They just are prolific at self-seeding, looking after themselves, and that's why they're so amazing. Yes, Ben.
Will you upload this live on Insta?
Yes.
Someone also commented, yes, Ben. I'm not too sure what that means. I think they might just be happy I'm here.
Or just repeating that I keep saying yes, Ben.
Oh, I get it. Yes.
Right, so these are Canterbury Bells.
I get it.
There's 300 seeds. So I'm going to go for, do these need covering? Yeah, a little covering. I'm going to go just for a little sprinkle in each cell.
Someone said if I put these kinds of trays in the garden, the squirrels are going to knock them over. What should I do? Well, I know what I'd do.
Ben would shoot the squirrel with a BB gun. Have you got something you could put over the top? I know that lots of people have real issues with squirrels. Have you got any, what would you say, Ben? Chicken wire or just something as a deterrent, just to lay over the top?
If you can get some chicken wire, you could make some...
A little cage?
Yeah.
What about guinea pig cage?
Well, I was just going to say that, but no one's going to go out just for seeds, are they?
Some people are dedicated to their seeds.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
Like, I'd probably do that if I had a problem with squirrels.
I think a BB gun's probably cheaper.
No, just to clarify, you cannot...
No, and I would not ever.
He would never do that.
Never harm
Ben would never do anything.
Squirrel, especially a squirrel.
Especially anything living, you would never get with a BB gun. Right.
No, because I'm not very good at shooting.
No, you're not. You're terrible at shooting.
Right,
I'm lightly pressing these in before I cover them. Canterbury Bells. Don't forget your label.
Would be great if you could save this live.
Yeah, it will be. It will be saved, and I also have the version of this on Instagram will be terrible. Make sure you sign up to my free biennial grow along where you'll get the better version from the proper camera. And yeah, there'll be like an explanation of exactly what happened before and what have you. But this one needs lightly covering, Canterbury Bells. Yes, Ben?
A couple of things. Are they okay if it snows over the winter?
Yeah, fine.
Your garden looks beautiful. Can you plant honesty in pots in the autumn?
Yep.
When we plant in the autumn, will the seedlings be a decent size to withstand slug attacks, or should we make peace with the fact that we're going to lose some?
I make peace with the fact that I'm going to lose some, and to be honest, my problem with my biennials last year wasn't the slugs, it was me. I sowed the seeds very half-heartedly, cared for them. I don't think I ever really watered them, and they just got forgotten about. So I only ended up with 2 honesty that I even could plant out because they were just like dried, crispy messes. But I didn't have as many of these seed trays, and then I'm so annoyed that I didn't have the spring flowers I want. I'm like, right, I'm looking after them. But no, you kind of just have to trust that they'll be okay. I use Nemaslug treatment in my garden to stop the slugs, and I do my last treatment in the autumn, and I don't really find much slug damage in the winter. Yes, Ben?
How many did you put in each cell?
A sprinkle. They were quite small, so I just sort of did a sprinkle.
I have foxgloves I grew from seed this year in a pot. Can I still put them into the flower bed now?
Yes.
Do they flower every 2 years, or do they just take 2 years to get started?
So the biennial bit is you sow them this year and they will flower in their second year. So people often think, oh, you've got to wait 2 whole years for them to flower, but you haven't. You're sowing them this year, they'll flower next year.
And what are
so
those?
That's the biennial. These are Canterbury Bells. Okay. So you need to lightly cover your Canterbury Bells.
Oh, they're saying they joined late. Don't worry, it'll be saved.
Yeah, it will be saved. Right, next up.
Can we finish time?
Next up, we are going with forget-me-nots. Forget-me-nots, for me, are just like the ultimate spring flower. They kind of get a bit weed-like because they just will self-seed everywhere, but don't panic about that because they're so easy to whip up if you don't want them. They look amazing in pots. They look amazing in the front of your borders. You can whip them out before they set seed. So just when they finish flowering, whip them out and then they won't self-seed everywhere. They look great planted with tulips. They look great with your spring bulbs. If your garden is feeling a bit sparse, fill the front of your borders with forget-me-nots because they're just amazing. So 1,000 seeds, cover very lightly. I'm going to do a sprinkle in each cell. Yes, Ben?
Okay, if you can answer these ones quickly.
Oh, sorry.
What do you do about mulching over the beds in autumn and spring? do you just go around them or do you cover the seedlings?
Yeah, I tend to go around them.
Good. Can I put them in containers rather than a border?
Absolutely, yes.
Can I put all of this collection in pots as I don't have much open ground?
Yeah.
Do foxgloves flower once, then flower year on year? I've just planted 2 I got from the garden centre and they haven't flowered, just tons of leaves.
So foxgloves, often what happens, I can't really show you that one, but so you'll get a really tall flower spike, you then chop that down and they will often, you'll then get more flowers come out. Now I've had foxgloves that have lasted 2 or 3 years in the garden, but then they tend to get really big and sad and just knackered. So they are a short-lived perennial. Yes, Ben?
Will they be okay if we pot on but don't plant out until early spring?
Yes.
I have clay soil which gets waterlogged. I'm trying to improve my soil.
Absolutely.
Okay.
What you could do, I'll just say, is I've got a different sort of cell tray here. This is a 7 centimetre, but you know, like a classic 9 centimetre pot. If you're not ready to plant them out in your borders, and lots of people haven't even cut their borders in, it doesn't matter. Get them planted up in a tray like this, or your 9 centimetre pots, and yeah, they will be absolutely fine. Sat on a shelf, potted up. Yes, Ben?
Will any of these varieties return year after year?
In a way, yes, because once you've got forget-me-nots in the garden, they'll just self-seed themselves, so you'll probably never have to sow them again. Same with honesty. Often, if you leave your seed heads, they'll just self-seed. But it's always a really good idea to sow fresh every year, just so you're guaranteed to get the varieties you want. Yes,
Do you
Ben?
have to put these seed trays outside, or can they go in a small shed that I have?
Outside. They will
Need the
need
light.
warmth and they'll need the light for sure, except for the wallflowers, which want shade to germinate. Right, what did I say we're doing? Forget-me-nots.
So maybe they'll be good in the shed?
I wouldn't bother
No,
because you'll
best
forget
to
about
not,
them.
yeah.
Yeah. So forget-me-nots, quite tiny. I'm just going for a sprinkle in each cell.
Washing machine.
And the great thing about over sowing like this is lots of us have got a friend, a relative,
Look.
a neighbour. You might have a local school, a local care home. When you've got extra seedlings and you've thinned out the ones that you want, so that's the bit where you pluck out the seedlings that you want, you might have a whole cell or 6 cells that you don't need. Pop it out and give it to somebody. Let them thin it out and they will have loads of plants. And that is just the best feeling ever. Yes, Ben?
Can they live in a greenhouse with a door/open window?
Greenhouse, you've just got to be careful with the greenhouse because greenhouses get so hot in the summer. Like, so hot. Things will dry out. But if you've got a greenhouse, lucky you, I'm sure that you will keep a really close eye on them and they'll be fine. So if it's well ventilated and you're regularly checking the water, then yes, that would be fine. Right, so these are forget-me-nots. They need a light cover. I've got a little bit here. Is that another question, Ben, or not?
Oh, I just swiped off it now. I'm back on.
Oh no, he's lost his question.
No, I'm still sort of there.
Oh.
Could you leave potted on plants in a greenhouse over winter, or
Yeah.
they're best outside?
You can.
I live in Scotland. It's windy up here. Will they need extra protection?
I mean, I guess your temperatures in Scotland are probably quite different, and that is tricky because I think these will all be fine up to -10. I don't know what your temperatures are like in Scotland, but you could always keep them in a little greenhouse or a zippy greenhouse if you're really worried. Yes, Ben, what's that funny question?
Somebody
that's
just
coming?
going in, Ben, just in case you're about to say anything that you don't want to be heard, we can just hear you talking quietly to your boys. One of them was just asking me what programming the washing machine needed to be on.
Did someone hear you say that? Oh my god, that's so funny. Oh yeah, train them young. Yeah. Right, that's forget-me-nots done. I just thought of another question. Oh, that was it. No, not a question. A lot of people have a hang-up thinking, oh god, I don't really have a garden, I've only got pots, or I'm in a rented garden. Anything, that's annoying, anything can be grown in a pot. I think some people think things can't be grown in a pot. Grow it in a pot. Anything can be grown in a pot. It's just about getting the number right, making sure you've got the right pot, making sure you've got decent compost, you're feeding and watering. anything can grow in a pot. Yes, Ben.
Virtual_garden_. I am loving this grow along.
Oh, I love doing these.
I think loving is. I think she's shouting it. I think I can only
She's
assume.
loving it.
Yeah, like proper loving that.
I love that.
Someone else said it's amazing. It might be my deep, sexy voice.
It might be you're selling it, babe.
Yeah.
Right, this is actually one I'm really excited to grow. So this is, we're going to do Sweet William next. I have never sown, grown, or had a Sweet William in my life, but when I was putting this collection together, and I was speaking to Melanie, and I was having a little look at what she had last spring, and what she's cutting like now, I was like, oh my god, I need them in my life. They don't really suit my colour scheme for this garden, so they are going in a container. Yeah. Another funny question. Yes,
no,
Ben?
one of them is, do the trays have to be off the floor?
No, they don't. But I've got 3 children who are clumsy, and for them and for Ben, visually, if they're on a shelf and they look neat, they will know that they're important and to be sensible with them. So that's why I put them on a shelf. Yes, Ben?
Ollie's mum at 2017. This is her first grow along.
Oh.
She's from Wales, and it's lush.
Oh.
Which is
oh, that reminds me of Gavin and
Stacey.
Stacey. Oh, they're doing a Christmas special, aren't they?
Hi guys. It says kid vents open or closed.
Lid vents.
Lid vents.
Right, you do not need a lid on. If we're sowing in the winter, if we're sowing in the spring, then lids help to get the seeds to germinate. We do not need lids at this time of year, absolutely not. But once they've germinated, if you've got a problem with slugs and snails in your garden, for nighttime only, put the lid on. Just get in a routine of in the morning when you have a cup of tea or coffee, go out in your garden in the morning and take your lids off. Yes, Ben.
Somebody else saying they're loving it. Much better than the football. Not too sure what football's on
Football's
right now.
finished.
I mean,
well, England
I mean,
football's done.
well, that was terrible. I mean, this is actually more
Right.
fun than that game.
Sweet William.
And that's
So we've
saying
got
something.
500 seeds in here. So sparingly. I don't do sparingly. Cover lightly and firm down. Okay, so cover lightly. Again, I'm just doing the same in each cell. I'm sprinkling generously. And what you will see, like me, is that you've got loads of seeds left over. Oversowing is fine, yes.
Will this be posted on the Grow Club members page?
So yes, let's talk about Grow Club members. So this grow along is free and will always be available. Now my Grow Club members, if you're new to my page and you're new to grow alongs, I have got a membership now, which is $5.99 a month and gives my members monthly and seasonal full-length tutorials, lots of content relevant to how to plan and maintain your garden jobs, exclusive discount codes. What else is there then? Discounts on all of my other courses. So if you are new to sowing seeds and you think you would benefit from in-depth tutorial videos on what to do next, then sign up to my membership. You can sign up for 1 month, you can sign up for however long you want. You can cancel at any time. So this grow along now will be live and available for you anytime. But if you feel like you need a bit of help in the future, then you can join the members club. And yeah, members, you will get this and all future stuff. That's all linked up on your dashboard. Yes, Ben.
What do we do with the spare seeds? Do a later seedling grow?
I always think it's really handy to keep hold of them, see where you're at in 3 weeks' time. Have you had good germination? Have your kids smashed a football and they're all over the lawn? Accidents happen. Keep hold of them. Although they don't have a date on them, they'll be fine next year. They're fresh seeds. Yes, Ben.
Oh, that basically answers this one. Can the leftover seeds be sown next June time, or do they go off?
I mean, seeds do have a shelf life. Usually it's a couple of years, but I'd always say these will be fine for next year. But you might have friends and relatives who might love to grow some as well. So yeah, the worst thing to do is hoard your seeds and then they go out of date and no one's got to enjoy them. So yeah, share the love. And just to let you know, I'm doing a sprinkling just the same in each one. Yes, Ben?
I'd just like to apologise about my cough.
You've put your hand up to tell me that.
Well, I'm not just going to talk above you, dear,
Your
am I?
cough is really annoying.
I say I'm not just going to talk above you, dear, am I?
No,
I'm not going to talk above you.
Shut up. Right, this one said lightly cover and firm. It's actually really nice that we're able to do it in the garden, isn't it?
Yeah, it's all right.
It's all right.
I was meant to be moping about the England game.
Oh, it's taken your mind off things. Another thing I will say for anyone who is new on here is that I can send a link, but I do have a complete beginner's gardening course available, which is $39.99, and you get a whole year's access on that. And it tells you, I mean, there's hours worth of videos and downloadable content and plant lists and everything, but it teaches you exactly how to plan a garden. So where to put your borders, it teaches you about soil, garden terminology, plants, how to plant a border, everything. You then also get access to container garden course. There's tons of stuff. So yeah, I mean, I've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people on that, and they are loving it, and their gardens are coming to life now, and I'm starting to share more and more of what they've done, and it just makes me burst with pride that so many people are loving gardening. Yes, Ben?
Michelle has asked twice now, which seed are we on?
Oh, Sweet Williams.
Oh, Jesus, sorry.
Sorry,
Michelle,
sorry.
I have been waving at her to get her attention.
He has, sorry.
Someone is loving the outside grow. This one, I'm guessing she means with her leftover seeds, is that she might go and seed bomb her local green area.
Oh, I love that idea. Actually, I could do that at school. I
think she wants to be known as the Phantom Planter.
I could take mine into school. I love that idea. I saw somebody did that recently and randomly planted some sunflowers. Oh, it was the Mediterranean gardener. Planted some sunflowers around lampposts. Love that. I love that idea.
Oh, I think somebody... Oh, no. Someone said... Someone is plugging you, saying, buy the course, it's amazing.
Oh, who is that?
IRID7. IRID7?
Okay.
I have learnt so much and my garden looks amazing, all thanks to Sophie.
I literally, yeah, I love it. And basically I built a course. I built the course that I wish we'd have had when we started gardening, because we spent so many years making ridiculous mistakes. Yes, Ben?
Someone said, so we need to rejoin after 12 months?
You will
I'm not too sure what that's...
Yeah,
I don't know what that's...
Basically, you get 12 months access. I'm confident that once you have done it, you will have spread your wings and you will know what to do. But if you don't, then you will have an option to either jump on the membership or you can buy again. But I don't think you'll need it, because I'm confident that with 12 months, you will have learned everything you need to know. You will have started your journey. But the membership's good because you get all the discounts and all the reminders and all that kind of thing. Yes, Ben?
The lady who just said about the course,
yeah.
She's the one who keeps messaging you for advice?
That's fine, and that's what I'm
Lindsay.
there. Oh, Lindsay?
Yeah.
Oh, that's absolutely what I'm there for. And I love that my members will send me pictures of how they are, and they're like, this is what I've done so far. Can I just ask you, where would you put this shrub, or where would you plant this tree, or does that border shape look nice? I'm there to help you. Like, that's my job, and I love it, and I do that every single day. So please, if you're a member and you've done the course and you just want a bit of advice, message me, because that's what I'm there for. Yes, Ben?
Is there a better month to buy the course to absorb it? Is it over winter better, autumn, or any time?
It was all filmed in winter.
I think that was the Phantom Planter.
To show you in a completely stark, empty garden. You can literally start any time. In fact, we do more planning and grafting in the winter, don't we, than the summer. Summer's for chilling out. We're autumn, winter grafters. Yes, Ben? We're on honesty.
You have inspired me to get my garden looking good.
I love that.
Is it not cold outside?
Yeah. My goosebumps on my arms are ridiculous.
I mean, I wish I kept my job.
People that know me, like my colleagues, they think I'm actually like an amphibian. Are they cold-blooded?
I'm gonna say yes, so one of us is gonna look stupid now, isn't it?
Anyway, everyone thinks I'm cold-blooded because I wear jumpers all the time. I am literally, this is like Baltic for me. Honesty, we're doing 50 seeds. These are going to be big. Yes, Ben?
Hi, I got some wildflower seeds in memory of my gran at her funeral last week. Sorry to hear that. Where should I sow them to get the most out of them?
So you want to find an area, a nice sunny spot, and you want to prepare the soil. So don't just chuck them in the grass. So you want to make sure you've got good soil, chuck a bag of compost down if the soil is poor, rake it, get any weeds out, and just literally chuck them down, make sure you water them, and they'll be incredible. Right, these guys, I know your hand's up, Ben, I just need to read
it's
this.
aching.
Okay, this doesn't say about covering. Okay, I'm just going to press it in then. Yes, Ben.
Somebody else just loving the course. She loves the fact that she can access it whenever and wherever she wants.
And that's what I love. It's an app, it's on your phone, you can have it in your back pocket as you're in the garden. You can be like, oh, how do I do that? Or yeah, that's why I've done it.
I am also the BMX bike recommender.
Oh, yeah.
That is a Phantom Planter seed bomb.
Oh, recommended that we got a BMX bike for half, but I said it's so hilly round here.
Yeah,
I think he'd struggle without his gears, wouldn't he?
Right,
so these are a bit bigger. Now I'm going to go for, I know that I want a lot of these, and I had a bit of boo-boo last year. So I'm going to, even though these are big, I'm going to go for 2 per cell, but I'm going to put them opposite each other, so they've got a bit of space.
Someone's told me to look at you. Look at your girl, Ben. She is a little star. I'm going 25 days. Yeah, I know.
Who said that?
I'm very proud of her. But she is forcing me to sit behind a camera, hold my hand up like a kid, and ask questions. Like,
God.
that's no. If anything is dedication to the cause, it's me now.
It is. But Ben, people love you being on here.
I'm a really confident gardener, but I've still learnt so much from you. And I would advise anybody to become a member. Knowledge is key, and you will always have this in abundance.
I have actually thought that, should I rename it? Because I've had so many people buy it saying, actually, I'm not a beginner, but I bought your course and blah, blah, blah. So maybe I should rename it. Maybe I should call it something else. Let me know your thoughts.
Do you need orange nail varnish to plant these seeds?
Definitely.
I chose.
Ben chose my colour.
And Louis.
Yeah, and Louis.
Love your reels. I like to think that's my reels.
Oh, thank you. Oh, we've got another boy at the window.
Yes, what's that?
When are you going to come and give us a
okay.
kiss?
Just having a little look. Not bedtime just yet, is it?
Right, 2 in a cell. 2 in a cell. And this doesn't say anything about covering, so I'm just pressing in. What it sounds like to these people watching this is we're doing this and the kids are doing the laundry and all the house.
They are, because they got a little bit told off earlier. So now I'm making them pay a little bit. Pardon?
Freddie's doing that bit.
They're coming to the window for more jobs.
Freddie's doing that bit, that's why it hasn't been done.
Yeah.
Where is he?
People ask us how we cope with such a busy
well, I
life.
suggest you tell him.
And like how we cope with 3 boys and how we manage to do so much in the garden.
Can I just say, one person actually asked you how you cope with 3 boys and a husband.
The thing is,
like I sit on my bum all day.
We are such a team, and we always have been. We're a team with everything we do, whether it's housework, stuff in the garden. We love to be together, and I mean, when me and Ben got together, this is totally unseed related, like everything,
Or is it?
everything we did together, like laundry, what?
Seed laying seeds out.
Like laundry, dishwasher. Okay, I don't do bins, but everything's
you don't do
everything's
bins,
always
do
been
you?
teamwork, and now we've got 3 boys. They're just part of our team.
Yeah.
And we don't. It's not like we expect them to do it, but we just all do it together. So yeah, they do have stuff to do. Even Harvey has to put his own clothes away, which he's pretty reluctant to do, but that's just how we roll. And we all get our own time to do our own
You make
thing.
a great team, it really shows. My phone's going to die.
Quickly go and get a battery pack. Right, so these honestly are in. I'm pressing them in, and then I'm going to water them. And then the last packet, they're not going to sow, and I'm going to tell you why. Some of you who've had your seeds for a really long time will have excitedly looked at all your seeds and read the packets, and I know that some of you have noticed what I'm about to say, but I didn't think it was right to sow them now with what I'm about to tell you, because people will be too eager and will ignore my advice and won't listen, and then they wouldn't potentially grow. So that's honestly done. Right, now, Rose Campion. We are not going to be sowing tonight. You can sow these in 2 weeks' time. Now, there is a reason for that, because this variety needs a period of cold stratification. Now what that means is that they need a period of cold before they will then germinate. So you need to pop these into your fridge for 2 weeks, and then you can sow them straight out of the fridge. Larkspur, which I sow in the autumn, are another one which need that period of cold. And actually my larkspur seeds are in the freezer right now. I've always got my larkspur stored in the freezer because they're always there, but that is why we're not sowing these tonight, because lots of people have only got theirs last week, this week. Loads of people didn't have them in time, and hundreds of orders gone out over the last 2 weeks, so there wouldn't have been time for everyone to put them in the fridge. So if you were on the ball when you read your seed packets, then you might have had these in the fridge, so you can sow them now. But if you didn't, like me, we'll just sow those in 2 weeks' time. So what it will tell us to do is treat as a biennial, so barely cover the seeds as light is needed for germination. So what that means is a really light sprinkle of compost, because it barely needs covering. Yes, Ben?
I think I might have missed a couple, but it sounds silly, but I would love to...
Nothing is silly.
You
can't say that.
No, I didn't.
No question is silly.
That was a cough.
It's not very inclusive.
It sounds silly, but I would love to be in the garden more, but I'm so fearful of picking up bugs, or worse, seeing a mouse. Any advice on getting over that?
Don't laugh.
I'm not laughing.
Right,
I've got a sore
you
throat.
are laughing.
I've got a sore throat.
I have had genuinely, like, bugs,
Stick some gloves on.
spiders, things don't bother me at all. But I do know people. I've got a friend who's terrified of worms, like terrified of worms. She doesn't like them. I would just say, embrace it
There is part of the
and
mouse down there.
use this time of your life to try and overcome your fears, and do what you can to reduce any stress that it causes you. So if you have a feeling, if you're worried about a bug or a spider or something crawling on your hand, wear gloves. If you're worried about things going on you, wear a long sleeve t-shirt. If that's your issue with things being on you, because actually, what's the worst that's going to happen? A bug might jump on your arm and you just brush it off. Like, it's part of gardening. And actually, I love seeing all the things that are in my garden, and me and the boys are constantly finding new bugs, new creatures that we've never seen before, and we're like, oh god, we're going to Google that. I don't know what that is. My one thing in my garden that I don't like, and I have to do something about it, is I love that I've got frogs in the garden, but I hate that when I'm doing my deadheading of this garden and this border, frogs always jump out on my feet. So I do not garden in flip-flops. I wear my wellies if I'm doing a job out here, and this literally happened to me the day before yesterday. A toad jumped out on my foot. So that's what I do to eradicate that. Yes, Ben?
Right, I must have missed this bit when I was
Okay.
inside, because I probably would have corrected you. But people are saying fridge or freezer.
Oh, this says fridge, so do it in the fridge, but my larkspur go in the freezer.
Right.
It doesn't really matter. They just need that cold snap. Yeah. So to get the best germination, that's why you need to do that. Some people find, and I've got rose Campion in my garden, but they've never self-seeded. I've never had a self-seeded rose Campion. I've just got the ones that I planted. Yes, Ben?
Another amazing grow along. Thanks to you both.
Aw.
Good to have you back, Ben.
Oh, we're glad to have him back.
I'm not fully back.
He's not
but
fully back. He's getting there. We just need the grumpiness to
That's never really fully going to go.
to wear off.
When's the show coming? Sunday mornings? When's the TV show coming?
Well, you never know what's coming up.
Love to see you on TV.
We used to do a regular a regular live, but Instagram infuriates me so much because of the internet, the poor quality of video upload. It doesn't save all the comments, so we kind of got out of the rut of doing it, didn't we? But I have got some really fun lives coming up. I've got one next week, which I'll share about the weekend. My dream would be to do a podcast, but I want Ben to be the podcast manager, and he's not up for that.
Only if I can be in the podcast.
It's going to be both of us.
We'll have to discuss that another time.
I think it would be really good.
Okay, I've got some serious
But it
questions.
wouldn't just be gardening, it would have to be banter as well.
Okay, well that's why you're having me there.
Yeah, but
isn't it?
if you will be my podcast manager, sign me up. Sign
Do
me
I
up.
get paid?
I'll pay you.
Oh, okay. Anyway, in other news,
Yep.
what is Melanie's website for more seeds?
Bishy Barnaby's Cottage Garden. So Bishy Barnaby's Cottage Garden. So the collection is out, but the individual varieties. So if you type in the Grow Seed collection, my collection will come up, and the individual varieties are listed there. So you might be able to order some varieties, but I know that there are some things that are completely out, and we are controlled by the suppliers. And if the suppliers can't get hold of any more seeds, then we can't make up any more boxes. So put your rose campions in your fridge. I'm going to leave mine there so I don't forget. Is there any other questions? Have I covered everything?
Can you just remind everybody that it is recorded and
Yes,
they can view this? People are going out, they have to go out.
Yes, that's absolutely fine. So I've got one phone live streaming this, which will go on Instagram. And then I've got my video camera recording, which will go live on the app, which will be much better quality. So yeah, don't worry, you can catch up at any time. It will be available forever. Yes, Ben.
Okay, you've just asked, is there any more questions? So they're coming in, so you're
That's
going to
great.
answer them quick.
Yeah.
Sorry. After we sow all the seeds, what month do we plant them out in the garden or in pot?
Autumn.
Someone's bang up for the podcast, so that's one person. I'm not too sure. I think there's a typo on here. Will you remind us when we need to die?
What can
Well,
die
no, sorry.
me?
Will you remind us when we need to dye them? And maybe there's more to come. I've loved the grow alongs. Thank you very much. Come and give us a wave, Ben. Yeah, I will.
Oh yeah, come on.
Not right this second. I'll come on. Oh, is it done now? Yeah, but I can't.
Yeah,
read
it's
these.
done now. Yes, you can. You can come around.
Okay, I've got. As the.
I'm just going to move a few things that might be deemed as a trip hazard.
As the manager, I've got all my technical stuff.
Basically, Ben's favourite podcast actually is Peter Crouch. So
Oh,
we could do a garden version of Peter and Abby's podcast.
yeah, that'd be great.
Oh look, there we are.
Here we are.
Look how cold I am.
Oh, no, you just knocked my phone.
Look how cold I am.
Okay, you just knocked my phone. I need to read more, so keep going.
Okay.
Keep going. Thanks, super excited.
So yeah, remember, wallflowers, put them in the shade. Everything else can just go in a sunny spot.
Can I just say, some of those questions that just got sent in have disappeared because you just knocked my screen.
Oh God, sorry. Send them in again. Send them in again if we haven't answered them. Sorry about that.
Sorry.
Rose campions are going in the fridge. Remember, lids or something on at night to protect. And like I said, these chicken packets are amazing because not only can you put things in them to keep them moist, you can use them as a lid. So moisture is key. If these seed trays dry out, nothing's going to germinate in a tray of dry compost. So keep them wet.
This is what I've been doing, guys.
What?
My arm's hurting. Will you be doing an autumn grow along?
Yeah, of course. Autumn, winter, spring.
Thank you.
Biennial. Autumn,
Thank you,
winter.
thank you, thank you, thank you. They've loved it. Thank you. Thanks for the great advice. My jumper.
You're not going to give me your
I'm
jumper.
not, I'm
You've
just saying.
never given
I'm
me
just
a
saying
jumper
it
and you are
for-
not a
saying it for the
gentleman.
camera. Yes, I've given you my jumper plenty of times.
Any other questions?
Just brilliant grow along. Thank you both. Thank you very much. Fabulous grow along as always.
Oh, good.
So thank you very much for the around 250 people.
Amazing. And just remember, these
Watching.
can be grown in borders, in pots. If you haven't got seeds now, try and get hold of some. This can be done anytime now, even into July. Get them sown. They're going to flower next spring. So some from around like April time, some will be around now. And you literally can fill your borders from the cost of a packet of
Hi.
seeds. Hi.
Will you remind us when we need to pot up and plant out?
Yes.
Thank you very much. You guys are the cutest. Thank you. I'm surprised.
I love that our children are watching us out the window. Crazy parents out in the freezing cold with mum who's literally about to...
Lovely to see you both. Loving the entertainment, Ben, Steph. Thanks for coming on. That was Steph.
Oh, can you make me a hot chocolate in a minute?
Yeah. Thank you, loved it. Thank you. I jumped the gun and started sowing my seeds, but didn't put them in the fridge. Will they still germinate?
What I would say is leave the ones you've sown.
Yeah, give it a go.
Leave the ones you've sown and then put them in the fridge and go again. You just never know. Some people do have things self-seed, but sometimes what happens, and nature is a funny thing, so the seeds will fall naturally, and then the cold winter happens and then they start to germinate. So naturally seeds do the cold stratification without you helping them. So I've got some larkspur in my dahlia border which have done it all themselves. So obviously the cold of the winter and then the warmth of the spring, and they've done it themselves. When we're trying to do it ahead of time, they need a bit of help.
Great double act. Morecambe and Wise, with just that sort of,
Yeah.
out on deck, that sort of.
Out on deck.
How do you decide what you put in pots or in a border? Sophie's freezing. I think you should finish.
Who is that?
Katie.
People can tell by my body
Katie
language.
Felgate.
Good job they can't see anything else.
Thank you. Will you do an up? Lucky I've got dark shorts on, to be honest. Will you do an update on what we've just sown? Thank you, excellent. Give Sophie a hug, keep her warm. I've got important things to do. You two have given me new life. Thank you.
Oh.
Titchmarsh and Don.
And all of these comments disappear and we won't ever be able to read them again. That makes me sad.
No, not if you keep swiping the screen across.
Can we just keep that screen on forever? Anyway, thank you so much. Like, I can't even tell you.
I'm going to put this down now.
Every time we do these grow-alongs, I think, what did it start with? Like, we had 50 people on a grow-along and it was like,
I think it was
oh
less,
my
I think it
god,
was
we've
less
got
than
50
that.
people, and like sold 50 seed collections, and then the next seed collection came and we sold like 200, and then the next one came, and it's just mental. It's just mental, isn't it?
Yeah.
And yeah, to think that people are trying gardening for the first time, and we are just a normal family
Where's Sophie and Ben?
but with not a lot of budget to do anything in the garden, and we've literally created a garden and filled this
Yeah, it
garden.
looks nice. Well done. Good job. I was noticing it. It was nice. Done a good job.
But
I've been busy back at work now, so I'm
if we can
busy
fill our
guy.
garden and grow stuff from seed, like if we can do it, anybody can do it.
And the
so,
seeds.
yeah.
Don't forget, I did seeds.
You did do some
Yeah.
seeds.
What happened with those seeds?
I don't know. What did you do with them?
I think it was my back. Then
Yeah.
I couldn't do
You
anything.
forgot.
No.
So yeah, a huge thank you for all of your love and support, because what started just as a bit of fun has now become a job, and
Yeah, and a bloody full time on that. So
it just
thanks for taking her away from me.
it just blows my
I
mind.
appreciate
And
that so much.
no, babe, you can't say that.
No.
It's amazing,
It's
and I am
amazing. It's
hugely
amazing.
privileged that people choose us to be a part of their garden journey.
Yes,
So thank you.
We got live audience laughter now.
He's the cheeky one in the audience. Right, the kids need us. I need a cup of tea, and I need to put my pajamas on because this is outrageous. So thank you for being here.
Maybe next time we'll do a pajama one.
Oh, that'd be cozy.
Pajamas.
Or
so-
autumn one, pajamas and hot chocolate.
Well,
That's a vibe.
absolutely.
I like that.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Anyway, thank you for being here. I will save all of this and see you very soon.
Bye.
Goodbye. It's a very official ending. Now we've got
Goodbye.
to get all the way back round to the
Goodbye.
camera
You
to
can.
switch it off.
So goodbye from me, the podcast.
Come on,
producer.
make it happen, make it
Maybe.
happen.
We'll see. I've got things to do.